Hello, testing. 1, 2, 3. Ah, god damn it, we fucking started. We fucking started again. It's the Tony Hawk's Pro Skaters Existential Crisis podcast. I think I stole that off of a meme. I'm not too happy that I stole it off a meme. Okay. Um, Full disclosure, I think I had one of the best episodes of this shitty podcast ever. I just recorded it, man. And yeah, boy, this is my third time recording this opening. Your boy fucked up. I fucked up so bad. The sound was horrible, man. It made me feel sad that the sound was horrible. I was saying so much, and yet none of it mattered in the end because you couldn't hear it over the goddamn roll of the wheels, and then the kick flips, and then the burials, and then the triple trick scores and whatever, and it sucked. So I am re-recording this. Let it be known that I actually do care about this podcast, and I am not just shitting this out because I okay. What is the core of me? What is my identity as a human being? Who is Giselle? Who do you know me as, man? Really, think about it. Think about who your boy is. Who your boy is a hard-working Capricorn guy who doesn't quit, who's kind of annoying, who keeps talking to you while playing Tony Hawk videos. I feel okay. You fucking laugh, you fucking idiot, creative skater. But okay, that's me, right? So I can't let it go that I not try to do a better job at this thing. I know that there's literally a whole episode where there's no video and it's just me talking in a black screen like the void, right? But I thought the episode was still pretty good even without the video aspect. But the last one, you needed to hear the podcast, and you could not hear the podcast. And I feel bummed, and I feel stupid that I didn't mix it properly because I thought I had mixed it properly. I really did. But I I deleted it. Sorry. Do I feel regret at deleting it? I don't know. It's been too it's been it's too fresh in my mind. Maybe before I go to bed at 3 a.m. again, I'll feel it, but right now, I don't feel too bad about it. I really don't. Ah, god damn it, my computer's slowing down because this Epic Game Store is a piece of shit because it won't let me play this game without going online. I don't know why. Fuck this game. Uh, this is the whole version. If you have not noticed, I didn't play the whole version on stream or I tried to play it on stream, but it was just too much work. My net is horrible. We're getting new net. We might get. Well, I might start streaming properly, but for now, this is the podcast, man. And again, what is the core of this podcast? It's me talking to you. And who am I talking to? I don't know. But I hope that you get something out of it. And that's the funny thing about it, right? There's so far I mean, I know there's some people listening. But the first listener, the first observer of this podcast is me as I am doing it, right? So at least when I do this recording, I'm entertaining myself first off. And let me tell you, man, am I doing a good job? I'm asking myself, am I doing a good job at entertaining myself? Maybe. I feel pretty energized after each recording of the episode. It's because, let me tell you, the thing about recording a podcast is you feel heard. It's a rare feeling in this COVID times that you would feel heard. Who listens to you during COVID? Not the government, not Harry Roque, not Duterte, not any of those fuckers, not Cynthia fucking Villar, di ba? Those fucking monsters. No one listens to you, but like at least when you're recording a podcast, you have to be listening to you somehow. That is just a need at this point. You have to listen to yourself. You don't just go throughout your day with your dumb thoughts in your head and you're getting into your soul about how you're not enough. I was talking to my friend about this, that this podcast literally is therapeutic for me because I will start this podcast not feeling great. I will start this podcast feeling kind of shitty, being worn down during the day. It might be something emotional, it might be something physical, you know? But usually the starting state is a bit zero. Ow. But as the podcast progresses, as I talk, as I develop ideas, as I listen to myself deliver these ideas, I I feel better because I feel like I'm listening to myself, which is a nice feeling to be listened to, even if it's just you, you know. Even if you're the only one who's listening, that's still, I have realized, still a pretty good feeling because the idea that you're getting stuff out, it's good not just only in art. I think it's a physically good feeling of opening your mouth and talking, and it's exhaling, and then talking and talking incessantly. And the thing is that why don't you just think these things to yourself, Giselle? Why do you have to expose people to your stupid voice? Your ugly, high pitched, annoying, voicey voice. Well, it's because if I just kept these thoughts in my head all to myself, they would essentially amount to you suck, you're a fat piece of shit, you can't draw, you're never gonna get anywhere in your life. And you're shit at Tony Hawk. But at least there's it sounds different when you say it in life, and that the idea that you're putting it out there, you can't just put it out there and assume that people are gonna understand. I know I put out a lot of obtuse shit on the internet and in my work. I know that my work is hard to understand, but I did not make it hard to understand just for the sake of it being hard to understand. I made it that way because I needed to say it in that manner because I'm trying to make a point. So it's not obtuse for the sake of being obtuse. I'm saying these things because I believe that this is how it should be said, and this is the best delivery system for these thoughts, right? So to this podcast, I believe that there's still this idea that I need to do it to a satisfactory manner, to a level of quality, so that people will listen to it and people will get something out of it because I want people to get something out of whatever I say. I still want there to be value to the words that I say. And I'm saying that sincerely because what how nice it is. How nice is it to feel understood? That's one of the best feelings in life. And I don't think a lot of people get that on a day to day. That's different from feeling contentment because you don't care that people don't understand you. Which is good naman. That's a good feeling too. You shouldn't be so caught up in the opinions of other people that you lose yourself. It's a balancing act, man. Balance yourself, you know? But what I'm saying, getting an idea across. Whoa! No! You can't eat those! My cat was eating the chicken wing bones, and I had to get it out of his dumb, stupid mouth. Wait, I'm gonna. Fuck. Okay, okay. I think we're good. We got the chicken bones out of his mouth. Stupid fucking fat cat. I hope he understands that what I did was for his benefit. And he feels appreciation for that. Because to understand that someone did that for you out of your benefit, even though you didn't like it in in the moment, is to feel loved. And that is what I was trying to get at with this idea of it feels nice to be understood because it feels like people are sympathizing and empathizing and understanding where you're coming from. And it's nice. It's the nicest feeling. It's not the most important feeling because I think that life isn't just about nice feelings, you know? I'm not saying that life doesn't have nice feelings. I'm saying that I feel like we live in an age where the pursuit of pleasure has dominated more than the pursuit of kindness and goodness, you know? And don't do kindness because it feels good. You do kindness because it's the right thing. Am I right? Yeah. What is the core of you? What is the core of you as a person? I don't know. What is the core of me? Like look at this character. I created this character. This is my avatar. He is a skinny skater dude, bald with like tattoos all over his arms, and he's bald because I couldn't find hair that kind of looks like my hair. So I just made him bald. So that seems to me that hair isn't necessarily an important part of my identity to me. But tattoos are. Which is weird because tattoos are something that were not born within me. Yeah, I had to put them on myself and my body. But it doesn't make it less any of my identity. I would in fact argue that it makes it more of my identity because it's a choice. It is something that I said I need a tattoo of a stack of pancakes on my arm because that's me. And I identified with it and I said that this is something that I will carry to my grave. God, that's the thing about identity. You can't have too many ingredients in your identity. You know what I'm saying? Sometime, someday, you're gonna settle on a part of yourself that's gonna be a bigger part, and that's not a bad thing. I used to think I could do everything. I used to think I could be a comedian. I used to think I could be a rapper or something. I used to think I could do all of these things, and it's true. I can. It is. I can rap. Like there's something, but like it's not really essential. if I if I had a car accident and all my friends went to the hospital and like my girlfriend Carice is like, oh no, is he okay? And then the doctor goes, oh no, he's perfectly fine. He didn't have much of a scratch on him. He hit his head, and we, from our MRI scans, we've we've deduced that he's lost the ability to rap. No one's gonna cry. A couple of people might cheer. The cat. You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares if Giselle raps? That's not him. I don't care. I don't care if I rap, right? But if it was like, oh, Giselle lost his hands, he can't draw comics anymore, that's heartbreaking. That's something intrinsic to who I am. And I will be sad if I am not able to make comics because that is part of my identity, you know. But that is not solely my identity. It is just one of the big parts of my adulthood. It probably gave me the most amount of experience in terms of life, right? Because it's my reason for being, right? And when I get older and I'm not able to draw comics, whenever that is, I will still be me. A shell of me, but I'm me, you know. That's what I was saying. That's what I was thinking about when I was watching that YouTube channel, Special Books by Special Kids. It's this channel featuring a bunch of neurotypicals. It's interviews with people with disability, basically. And some of them have rare diseases, some of them have no skin, some of them are schizophrenic. And of course it's a filtered interview because you're asking people to define who they are and how their diseases have changed or made their point of view the way that it is, their worldview, right? You don't you don't um you don't gain no insight from living without arms because you know that you're an other, because you know that you're different from other people because you don't have arms, and it makes you consider more the idea of humanity, what a human is without arms, right? Well, what if you start considering what is a human without empathy, like a sociopath, right? What parts of humanity is still within that person, right? Because we always say that empathy is a huge part of humanity, right? And sociopaths are known to not feel much empathy, or like they feel it differently, and it's a hindrance for them, you know. There are like some bad sociopaths, and then there's some not so bad sociopaths or whatever. It's at the end of the day, I'm not saying that like they're good, all of them, but I'm saying that it is a worldview that is different because it's particularly devoid of empathy. And I hope that people can have empathy for people who don't have empathy, to see that you can still care for someone who doesn't necessarily care in the same way as you do. Because that's still a worthwhile story to explore and to tell, right? But again, I was thinking about people with physical limitations, like this kid with progeria. His his organs are much older than his outer looks. He kind of looks like a dwarf, but his organs are like aged like 80 years old, and he's like 23. He's the oldest man with progeria alive. And he has some wisdom to him. You know why? And this is why, because he is faced with mortality, he's faced with death, he is faced with a limitation of life in a lot of aspects. And it makes him consider who he is. And when he does say who he is, I'm not gonna say it's like quite beautiful, but it makes you think who you are, you know. And that's why I watch that channel. It it's a sobering reminder of what you actually do have when you see people living a better life, not a better life than you, but like a different life from you, and with greater quote unquote handicaps than you. And I'm not saying that your complaints are not valid because they are valid, but like put into context of other people, it makes you think. And I'm not saying that you have to be stoic and shit. You have to let it out too. That's what I'm doing in this podcast. You gotta practice some, I don't know. You gotta practice some realness. You gotta practice some vulnerability every once in a while. Not like just like not vulnerability that like everything sucks and like my life sucks. Like you gotta you have some self reflection, and that doesn't happen without any vulnerability on your part. You can't just be stoic and keep saying that shit doesn't bother you when like shit should bother you. Or you have to also understand. Wait, is there something? Is there what is it there? What is there that's wrong with me not caring about this certain issue? It's okay to not care about certain issues, I guess, maybe, but maybe understand why. Maybe if there is an ability to empathize with more people, maybe take that up because I think you can't go wrong with empathy. And I'm saying empathy in like a considered way. Like don't empathize with Hitler. Don't empathize with evil people. Empathize with the greater good or the core good, you know. Because the greater good doesn't necessarily mean that it's like a good. You know what I'm saying? There is a core that's not dictated by simple numbers. It goes beyond numbers. It goes from what is right, you know? And that could be variable. Yeah, you gotta decide for yourself. There's no one way to slice the truth pie. The identity pie, the core pie, you know, the American pie. And watching that YouTube channel, it's they've got wisdom beyond their years because their bodies or their minds exhibit the kind of deterioration. And I'm not saying that they're like less human. I'm just saying they exhibit similar aspects of being old, to growing old. You know, when you can't do as much anymore. When you're not able to do all the things that you wanted to do. When you are not able to do much, that's when you just start really realizing who you are at the core. And I'm not saying that when you were able to do surfboarding and then yoga and then kayaking that you weren't like that person. I'm saying that you were that person in the end of that, but what? No. You were still that person, but that person did not have the amount of experience that your older version would have. Right? That because that older person would also have the memories of that person who did the kayaking. And so that person is actually making sense of the experience of kayaking person's life within his life. He contains multitudes. He contains different instances of that person's life. Damn, that was fucking confusing. But I'm saying the goal really isn't pleasure. The goal really isn't like necessarily comfort. The goal is to get to the end of the goal, to live a a fruitful life. Not even a fruitful life, just to live a life. To really think about it. I feel like a lot of people just want to stick to like a set of guidelines. Fuck. No, but a lot of people just want to stick to the simplest rules to living and like not really be critical of how they live, and it's fine because I'm okay. I'm kind of like that too. I don't question why I don't clean the dishes immediately because it's easier, but self reflection is good, and that's why I'm doing this for the second fucking time. And I'm realizing that there are a lot of holes in the original podcast that I recorded that I deleted now. There are a lot of fucking holes in the argument that I was putting forth about identity, you know. And hopefully, man, like this idea of like identity, this idea of understanding who you are, isn't isn't this flaccid fucking idea of just focusing on who you are. Because yeah, you gotta focus on who you are, but try to think about other people too. Again, it's a balancing act. Definitely, this new recording is a lot quieter, a lot less voices because the original, man, there were voices all around that I was doing, and now you won't get to listen to any of those annoying voices. I watched this documentary about this choir made up of really old people. And it always stuck with me that when they asked this old lady what she feels like, they said like she says that she's 93 but she still feels like she's 21. Like in her head she's still 21 but her body has given out. And that's also a thought, you know. There's no point where we stop being. It's because yeah, you ever you have like a friend that you live with and then they slowly gain weight, and then when your other friends visit and they see that friend and they say, "Oh, tumaba ka?" And then you realize that the friend that you're talking about is yourself and tumaba ka pala. And because you don't observe, because you see yourself every day, you don't really see that you got fat. That's what I'm saying. It must be like when you get older. It's like you don't really see the transition of your wisdom. Yeah. Every example that I give out in this podcast is me. It's a thinly layered version of me. Oh my god. But who am I? what is what do you call a Giselle? Right. Am I the memes? Am I the drawings? Am I the angry rants? Am I the podcast? No. Am I the comics? Maybe. I don't know. Am I Bear? I don't know. Bear is my avatar from my Windmills comic book that no one cares about. I want you to do something. I've told people this before. I said this in the other podcast that I deleted. I'm sorry. I know it feels weird. It feels like I'm tired. It's because I'm recording this for the second time and I feel bad that I didn't record the first one. But not that this doesn't flow the same way and not that this doesn't have similar parts to it. Maybe a little bit more confusing than the first one, but this is good. Trust me, this is good. You know why? You know why this is good? You got no choice but to take it on my word because that other one, it doesn't exist anymore. That instance of that does not exist. This one, however, it is still getting made right now. Literally right now when you're listening to it, is this is the moment that I said right now in the recording of that when it happened in the past because right now you're listening it on YouTube probably. Maybe if I actually put this out, maybe I fucked up with the recording again. Maybe this isn't as good as the first one and I just don't release it. But right now, it has the possibility of a million instances. Or zero, because I have not uploaded it. It is this abstract thing that's still getting made. And the funny thing is, I said something similar like that on the previous recording. So this is just another instance of that. It's a facsimile of those ideas, but heightened and different. Because right now there's in your head I am creating a facsimile of another recording that you don't know of, but you can imagine what it could be like because I'm giving you facsimiles of those ideas in a new format. Is it the same podcast? No, it's not. Does it point to similar ideas and ideologies and thinking? Yes, it partly does. Is it as effective? We don't know because the first one never got released. Did they both contain a bald dude skating? Yes, they did. Uh, I want you to do something. I want you to do something for your friends. I want you to do something for your family. I want you to do something for the community that you're in. I want you to send out food. Doesn't have to be food that you made, but like food that you send out. You send it out to your friend. Tell that friend I am sending you food right now via Grab, Mr. Speedy, or Lala Move. You just send them out food. And I want you to do this because it's important that people feel loved. And I'm not just saying that they should feel loved because there are like a couple of ways to feel loved, right? There's the physical nourishment, physically, and then socialization. I'm not a psychologist, but these are things that I imagine would be a part of like a nourished, loved individual is physical and mental, right? And when you send out food like a brownie or like a nice a nice meal that you cooked of like carrots and mashed potatoes and or like rice and like a nice big slab of steak that you grilled yourself, and then you're saying to your friend like, "Hey, I'm gonna send you some food. You gonna eat that food?" They know directly from you that you are thinking of them. You are thinking that you want them to eat food and feel nourished and feel alive, and that you want them to feel alive and feel nourished, which means that you want them on a level to live. And they will live because they will eat your food. You will have been responsible for their continued existence of the burning furnace that is a stomach that builds up um that makes energy for the body so that it doesn't crumble and die. And they might not always think of it in that way, but you know, you in your heart, I hope you know that that is the function of that. And it hits two birds with one stone. It nourishes them physically and it nourishes them socially. Because we don't have a lot of socialization this fucking pandemic, man. Some people live alone. I live alone. you know, a nice thing that happened is my neighbor told me that she listened to my podcast and it was great. Not listen like she heard it through the thin walls of our apartment building. No, like she actively listened to it, and then she said that maybe you should get a better setup, and like oh, in the other episodes it's sort of better. And then I recorded a fucking episode where it was mixed horribly, and I deleted it and have to redo it again right now, and that's the recording that you're listening to. And it must be insufferable. Insufferable? I made up a new word. Insufferable. But here we are. And on a serious note, we're living in a goddamn slow motion apocalypse, and we aren't being heard. You know, when I say that it feels good to be heard, I'm not just saying, oh, like my girlfriend listened to me or like my parents understand me. No, 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 no. I'm also saying that our fucking government does not listen to us, and it's a fucking travesty, and it doesn't listen to our stories, and it doesn't listen. It doesn't know who we are. It doesn't care about who we are. In a government that does not care about who we are, it does not care about what we are. When I say what, I'm meaning in the present, what the country is right now. That's a goddamn slave state. You know why? It's because it only cares about what you can do for it. It does not care about making your life better. It only cares about you continuing. It is this machine of financing and authority. You know, it only cares if you vote for whoever is in power, right? It doesn't care if you're poor or it doesn't care if you are killed by a American soldier drowned in a toilet. It doesn't care about you that way. It didn't care for Jennifer Laude, right? And you gotta think who's allowing this and why. Why are they allowing this? Why the pardon? And one of the main things is because it serves as a distraction to other things. And I'm not saying that Jennifer isn't important. I am saying that it is a fucking travesty that that's the end goal to that move is. And how it expresses the utter trampling of our liberties, of our life, of what is important to this admin, right? What is justice, They don't care. That's the biggest deal. They literally don't care. Because these are not actions that express care. These are not actions that a person who listens does. These are manipulative, abusive actions, man. These are actions to gaslight and to m- manipulate and just generally make you look the other way. And you know what the fucked up thing is? Even if you don't care about her as a person, right? Even if you don't agree with her lifestyle or like think that she deserves it, you fucking monster. Um, you gotta see that it affects you. If they could do it, if you can't see that she could very well be you as well, you're an idiot. How many more examples of people do you need? There's like, how many people between farmers and activists and journalists and kids and then doctors, how much lack of understanding and care that our government actually has. What is the thing about his identity is it's a culmination of priorities, right? It's a culmination of care, of what we think is important to us. And what is the identity of this government? Through its actions, I I'm pretty sure it's not the Filipino people, you know, between PhilHealth and the white sand in Manila Bay. It's just it's depressing is what it is. And what amounts to a life, man? You know, when someone dies, how they die, who kills them, who they are with when they die. It's not how they die, it's not who kills them. It's who they leave behind, right? That has to be part of who you are post living because you're not there to define yourself anymore. Is she defined by the tragedy and abortion of the justice system here? Is she a symbol for US sovereignty, for machismo and like transphobia, for the lack of empathy and understanding of people in all walks of life? Or is she like someone's child, you know? Yeah. I'm not gonna say I'm sorry. it got low, but like it's stuff that I've been thinking of, and it's just seeing the Facebook comments, terrible fucking human beings. It's the privilege, honestly, of a lot of people to not see themselves in the shoes of other people, and I feel bad that there is not enough space for reflection of our own selves to see ourselves reflected in other people. You know, when you when I say that what identity is, it's not just so part of who we are is when we die, who we leave behind missing us, right? So extrapolating that, it means that you had an effect on these people. It means that you did actions towards these people. And you know, if you have a good standing with these people who misses you, they are effectively indicators for how much you affected people, who you are, you know. So is it so my question is, when I was in college, this is fucking long. When I was in college, like a nun told me that, like, in a psych class, that intelligence isn't intelligence if it's not expressed physically within a space. If it's just in your head, it's not intelligence, right? It's only intelligence to you. It's only like an expression of your thoughts in your head. So you to be intelligent, you have to have affected something, you know. So to be alive, you have had to have an effect in a way. It just sucks because, like, this is a person, like, I don't even know, ostensibly, like, just a name and a compilation of ideas. But then you see her mother, and then you see her killer, and then you see it go up straight to the president and even the speaker of the president. And that's just, that's just the things that we're privy to. How many other people did this person interact with? And how many people are fighting for her, you know? So if you can't see that, if you're just gonna be the fucking gross, unimaginative, and that is the worst thing I can say to anyone. That's like a fucking huge insult. You just shut the fuck up, and you just try to think more outside of your goddamn thimble-sized mind. You know, it's just gross. It's just the lack of thinking, and I'm not saying logical thinking, because you could be the most fucking logical. Ben Shapiro, that fucking asshole, is logical. You know, it doesn't get. Who gives a shit if, like, it's just there's self-serving logical thinkers too. I'm saying thinking outside of your comfort zone, thinking outside of you, expanding from you. You know, because there is no you without the other people. You're just a compilation of mimics from other people, and they're a compilation of mimicked attitudes from other people, from other family members, from TV shows, and all that shit. It's like you could, without the economic value that we've assigned to each other, and like these social classes, we're basically the same skin and bone human beings. But you can't. I know that there's never gonna be like a situation where we don't have a money system, but it helps to think that this is all artifice that we put on ourselves. Makes me mad, man. Makes me mad that, like, we get we have to be so small-minded as to not want to show emotion. That to show emotion is a sign of weakness. And I'm saying this not to, like, feel good about myself. That, oh, Giselle, he's a very emotional human being and he says a lot of things. And, like, I'm not trying to justify myself. I'm saying too that there is an aspect of machismo that just asks you to shut up and then to ignore the feelings that are welling up inside and to ignore the vulnerability. Well, you know what, motherfucker? Getting so mad. You know what, motherfucker? Sometimes vulnerability leads to new thoughts, man. And stoicness, it really doesn't. It Stoicness is important in a situation where you have decided what is important, but god damn it, sometimes you gotta feel that shit, you know? You gotta go. I know everyone wants to be fucking cool and shut the fuck up and like fucking not get mad. Don't make waves. Cool as a cucumber, Fonzie. Hey, it's not cool anymore. Happy Days is not cool anymore, but it is still that stoic shit is still tied into machismo culture, and you know where that machismo culture gets us? Nowhere. Look at where our leaders are. You got Duterte, you got Trump, you got all these that guy in fucking Brazil, that asshole. He, it gets you nowhere. The pursuit of a goal above all else without listening to like conscious moral guilt is stupid. I'm getting so mad. It is it it loses you the greater good, man. It really does. You got Walter White. I'm just doing this for my family. I need the money. I need the money because Skylar has got to get a nice house, and like we've always been poor, and I'm finally being able to provide for my family. I'm Walter White. I'm gonna die anyway. I'm gonna do this one big final sacrifice for my family because I'm such a good guy. I'm almost gonna die. Fuck my morals. It's not important who I am. Who I am remembered as. It's not important as much as my actions. You might think I'm a bad guy, but like I'm doing this for my family. You know who's fucking doing that too? Duterte. God damn it. I made that connection this morning. I mean, there's that idea, right? That he might be sick, right? Who who fucking was sick for how many seasons? 5 seasons? 8 seasons? Who was fucking sick for like 6 of those seasons? It's Walter White, and he's not a good guy. I know everybody loves that guy, but he really isn't. That's the thing. Seeing it in real life applied, god damn it, that's horrible. That's stoic. He was stoic for so many of those seasons because he was so focused on this dumb goal of providing for my family. I'm a man. I have to provide for my family, and we all feel bad. Now, oh, he's providing for his family. He has cancer. I mean, I love that show. I really did. I really enjoyed the fuck out of it. And then now it's like I don't like this show so much. That it doesn't speak the truth. It's like purely entertainment, and I know it's entertainment, but it's like, man, what a pile of fucking bullshit. It's because it's really slickly produced and it's well written and stuff. They're like at the core of it, like wow, what a piece of shit. And I'll add BoJack in there, and then I'll add Rick and Morty, just so everyone's mad at me for shitting on like great shows. They're entertaining. That's what I'm saying. These things are fucking entertaining, and these things are like, um, they're very cool characters. BoJack is a very relatable character, and like it does expose toxicity and horribleness, but man, like selfish people are shitty people in real life too, you know? I'm sure you could make a pretty interesting Breaking Bad type of show with Duterte as a model. Uh, what a weird tangent. And if I don't want to go to jail because of this podcast, um, it's a good thing no one listens. So like just fuck that part and fuck that. It's horrible. Because this isn't fiction. This is our lives. And like, god damn you if you still support that guy. As in, like, fuck you in your mouth. You unimaginative fuck. If you can't get out of your ass. I've known people like this. I've known marketers. I've known geeks. I've known people super enthusiastic about one idea. And they think like it is a perfect idea. If we execute it properly, we'll get so and so amount. This is, people just have to follow. Well, you're not being smart because you don't have fail safes in your idea because your idea only works in a goddamn vacuum, man. You know what good ideas are? Modular. You can put in other ideas on top of it. I've met so many fucking big brained idea people that they just had the one idea, and if that idea, it's like the Death Star, man. I know I hate Star Wars, but it's the Death Star. You fucking build a moon-sized fucking ship, and then it like there's this little fucking asshole that you fire a torpedo and then it explodes. what, what is that? That's the worst design ever. That's stupid. And then that's the presidency, basically. Oh, kasi build. Fuck that, man. You know. And it's not. I'm not even saying that it was ever gonna go. It feels like it wasn't ever gonna go into that. It was just all a ruse to get our money and get our hopes up. But like at the end of the day, I I don't think they care. Sad thing is like I know there's some creatives who supported Duterte and like I'm happy for those who do not anymore. Happy in a like a very rudimentary. Okay, good that you stopped eating shit. Like those people who are still like supporting full on. Why? Wow, this became about This was identity, and then it just completely went into like I hate this admin thing. And it scares me because I am a scared little boy talking on the internet playing a computer game. Does my voice really matter? I don't know. It's a recording for myself. It's weird that I have the whole game and I've played the whole game and the other parts, right? But it still feels much better recording this podcast in this episode. Weird. I'm such a weird guy, right, guys? For me, Tony Hawk might be the greatest video game ever made because it expresses so much kinetic fun, right? It's an action game, but also it's a creative game and it's a reflex game. It's a creative game because skating is creative and there is no real endpoint to it, right? Like you just gotta skate. That's the whole idea behind skating. It's just having fun and like doing tricks off of whatever. Like look, I've played this for 2 hours now today, and this is the best, and it still feels like a different playthrough each time. And that's one of the best things about design of this game. And it's not a narrative game. You want me to talk about a narrative game? See what I did there. I will transition to the other part of the thing that I didn't have before. Okay, like a good game about identity is Soma. Um, it's probably the best sci-fi thing that I have consumed in the past 10 years or something. Like I used to be a pretty heavy sci-fi reader. I used to read a lot of sci-fi short stories and novels and stuff, but I kind of fell off. I don't really know why. but you gotta justify. But rip someone's head off. No, no, that's the biscuit. But it's about this guy. He goes to a doctor's office because he has migraines and headaches, and his doctor asks him to sit in this chair, and it's like a MRI chair, and it scans his mind, right? And then he closes his eyes, and when he opens his eyes, he's outside of Canada where the doctor's office was, and he's underwater on a facility in the Marianas Trench, I believe, one of the deepest parts of the ocean, on like a facility full of scientists, and the scientists are watching cameras or like on Earth, right? And then the Earth is burning. Everyone's dead on the surface. The Earth's surface is dead. There's no one else on Earth alive except the humans on this sub-aquatic science facility. What a mind fuck. To wake up in the apocalyptic future, and it feels like Total Recall and like not Blade Runner because that sucks. It feels like Alien, the first Alien, right? Event Horizon. It's just a lot of these cool influences, but it's still its own thing. And one of the cool things about it is I'll just spoil the twist for you. Is you woke up in the future from that doctor's office because that doctor actually scanned in your mind and created a copy of your memory, a copy of you. Right, right. Here's the thing about the Matrix or any piece of media where like someone says we're gonna download your mind into this machine and you'll live forever. They're not they're not downloading, uploading whatever your mind to it. They're not putting your consciousness into it. You're not gonna wake up inside it. It doesn't go like imagine your mind is a pitcher of water, and then they put your brains are the water, right? And then they put they transfer the water. You transfer the water from the pitcher into another pitcher, and then you wake up in the other pitcher. It doesn't work like that. What happens realistically realistically is they're making a perfect copy of an instance of your mind in that moment, and then they put that instance in that robot, and technically that's a different person from you. That's a different instance of you from there on out. There is no real way to transfer your consciousness that you developed when you were 3 years old, when you had object permanence. Nah, there's just no way. That's bullshit. If anyone else does that, it it asks the question, what are we? Are we our thoughts? Are we our brain? Are we our body? That's pretty trippy stuff. And I just love that. You should play Soma. You don't even need to play it. I'll put it in the description, but there's a YouTube documentary, like a 4-hour documentary about it, analyzing the events of what happened in the Soma game. It's really good. It is really, really good. It's as good as the video game, I think. I played and watched both of them. Anyway, great stuff about identity. Really makes you think. I mean, who are you? You're not your thoughts. Eckhart Tolle said that in like one book that he had. It changed my life on your earth, where like he basically said, "Oh, you're not your thoughts. You're not that sentence in your mind that keeps saying that you have to pay your bills. You're the guy listening to that sentence." It's like, oh, that's true. I am the person listening. I am the quiet listener. So in this instance, am I the voice that you're listening to in the podcast? Am I the skater that you might be watching? Because he is a facsimile of me, even though he doesn't look much like me. You know, he's a facsimile of me. He has the same weird proximate, no, weird tattoos, right? Who am I? I don't know. I'm sleepy. That's what I am. And it's good to think about who you are. But it's even better to think about who people are, and how you can help people. Because it doesn't really help if you have a profile of a person, of who they are, if you don't have anything you want to do with that profile of that person. Do you want to help them? Do you want to kill them? No, no, no. You gotta, you gotta have actions planned out for the thoughts that you have. And I'm not saying that I want you to be goal oriented. It's just thoughts take up space in both your heart and mind. So why would you want to have so why wouldn't you want like a heart that is filled with good things and a mind that is attuned to its surroundings because it doesn't have too much clutter. It doesn't have too much emotional clutter because thoughts might be a dime a dozen, but like they have physical manifestations in your body. Thoughts can make you feel like shit, man. So maybe curate your thoughts. Like really think about what it means to have a thought. Okay. The last stretch of this, I think it's a good approximation of the first for the first time I recorded any of these thoughts. But I guess I want to end on like a nice idea. You know when I told you to like buy someone food. You know who I realized has been doing that? Not just buying me food, just bringing me food. It's my girlfriend. I love her very much, honestly, and without her, I don't think I would be as good of a human being. I'm not saying that I'm fucking great right now. I'm not better. Like I want to be a better person, and she baked me brownies, and the brownies are really good. And I keep thinking about the brownies. And I'm gonna have brownies after this recording. She also makes me think about the work that I'm doing. Not that it's not just simple. Is it good, Giselle? Is the work good? Are you getting paid? It's more like she does question of like, oh, is this what you actually want to do? And not even like is it a prestigious thing to do? It's more like, is it what you want to do? Is this the core of you? And like, you know what? It's I I hope that you find someone whoever's listening, it's nice to find someone that they help you grow. And I'm not saying this in like a dumb postcard sort of way. Like a person who helps grow you from the inside by feeding you brownies. And it's not even the brownies anymore, but they are good brownies. And I'll probably be selling you brownies in the next episode. But it's not about the brownies anymore. It's like the thought behind the brownies. It's the identity of the brownies and the brownie maker and the flavor of the brownies. And what is the flavor of the brownies? Kindness, humility, love. And it's almost as if it doesn't matter if the brownies are good or not. It's the concept that you got brownies. I got brownies. And I want to give you a facsimile. I don't know. I want you to have that concept in your mind that Giselle got brownies. And that those brownies don't just mean that they're brownies and they're good brownies, but they are also good brownies. That they are brownies of love, compassion, and kindness, and like of thinking about other people. And I hope you're well. I hope you're doing good. And when I say that I hope that you are doing good, I mean that in a lot of different ways. I hope that you are actualizing yourself, and I hope that you're also helping others to do good. Because this is a Christian podcast. No, it's not just a Christian podcast. But, you know, thank you for joining me on this existential journey. This is the end of the podcast, and it's always there for free because everybody has to be a better person just for me because I don't want to live in a slow motion apocalypse. Goodbye.